All right, I got a question the other day from 99 Cal asking about pitch sequence and if I could give him any tips on, when to throw certain pitches or when to throw it, what to throw and when to throw it. I wish it was that easy. I wish pitching was that easy. You had an exact routine of, let's throw this first pitch a fastball, then we're going to throw the next pitch a curveball, and the next pitch a changeup, and we're going to get every batter out. But that's not the way it works. So I want to talk a little bit about pitch sequence, what to throw and when. I guess there's really no answer to that, and kind of just mixing up your pitches. And there's a few things to remember when you're thinking about pitch sequence or trying to get guys out. The first thing is, as you get older and the higher level of play that you get into, the scouting reports get better. That means the other team knows more about you as a pitcher, knows what you're going to throw better more often. Like in college, for example, when we were in college, every single one of our hitters on our team knew what the other pitcher threw for every count. So, for example, before the game, we would meet and say, okay, the guy that got starting today, he's a righty. He throws between 88 and 91. He's got a fastball, a curveball, and a changeup. And then we would go through every pitch or every count and see what percentage of the pitch he throws. So we would say on 0-0 counts, this guy throws 90% fastballs. Okay? Then we go 0-1 count. He throws 80% fastballs. 0-2, he throws 80% curveballs, So for every count we went through and knew exactly what percent the guy throws. So that's just an example of the higher level of plays that you get, the higher level of play that you get to. The scouting reports are going to be better, so you're going to have to mix up your pitches more. So now if you're coming in and the team knows this, but your percentages are a lot more equal, so you're closer to 50% on some of these things. Now hitters are up there trying to guess what you're throwing. So that's a good job in mixing your pitches and having a good pitch sequence and things like that. The another thing to think of is when you're thinking about mixing up pitches, not necessarily mixing up your pitches like going from fastball to curveball or fastball to changeup or whatever, but think about changing eye levels, because you could throw a up and in fastball and then throw a low and away fastball, and that would be effective. So when I'm saying mixing it up, I'm not saying just your pitches, it's also your location. Our job as a pitcher is to mess with their eye levels, okay? So high and low, in and out. We're also going to mess up their balance, which is in and out, and we're trying to mess up their timing, which is fast and slow. And that's where your pitches come into play. So like your fastball and your changeup. And obviously your curveball is going to have some different movement, so that plays into effect there. But when I'm saying, that's just another thing to think of when I'm saying mixing up your pitches. It doesn't necessarily mean your fastball to curveball or fastball to changeup. It's location of your fastball or of your curveball or of your changeup. One thing to remember on that'll be in my next point, which is doubling up your pitches. It's not always a bad thing to double up your pitches. So like I said before, you can throw the same pitch twice, and you can even throw it into the same location twice, because that's probably the best way to keep a hitter guessing is like, oh, this guy doubled up on me. He has no idea what's coming next. The one thing you want to be careful about on doubling up when you're throwing a curveball or a changeup twice in a row, the second time you throw it, you want to throw it lower and slower, okay? Because you've already set him up for that bat speed. So your next pitch wants to be lower and slower, okay? Which brings me to my fourth point. There is one rule that I like to follow when it comes to mixing up your pitches and pitch sequence, and that is never throw your third best pitch. Never throw your third best pitch after your second best pitch if they're both off speeds. For example, let's take myself for instance. Fastball, curveball, changeup, okay? Changeup was my worst. Changeup was my second. Fastball was my first best pitch. So I would never throw a curveball and then throw a changeup after it, because that is my third best pitch. I don't want to get beat with my third best pitch, especially after I set that batter up to have good bat speed on a slow pitch like that, because my curveball and changeup are around the same speeds. I'm setting him up for that, and then I throw a less better pitch to him, they're going to hit it almost every time. So that's the only rule that I like to follow, and that might help you guys out. Never throw your third best pitch after your second best pitch if it's an off speed. That's just one rule I like to follow. Again, doubling up. If it's a changeup, curveball, lower and slower. Remember about the scouting reports, and remember to change your eye levels in and out, up and down, and change your speed, and you guys will be fine. That's the way you mix up pitches. That's the way you have a pitch sequence. That's not even a sequence, but I guess that's how you should go about pitching. A little bit of philosophy there for you. But try it out and let me know how it works for you guys, and leave some comments.